Hey everybody, welcome back to Free Lesson Fridays. Before we get started with today's video, I want to throw out a huge thank you to everyone who's been watching these. We thought that this was a cool idea, but never expected to get close to or over 1,000 views every time we put one of these out. So super huge thank you. And again, leave comments below for suggestions or things that you want to learn. I know somebody wants a Buffy the Vampire Slayer theme video for guitar. Somebody else requested a banjo video, so those are coming up soon. Want to also make sure to tell you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. A link will be in the description. And Jeff, our video guy, who also did that awesome cello lesson, says he's starting to get a little sick, so put a little heart down there to make sure that you send him your love, all right? Don't forget to search hashtag Free Lesson Fridays to see all of our other videos on Facebook. And we're also going to be uploading them to YouTube pretty soon. If you would like, if you live in the Grand Rapids area, you can get a free lesson here at Triumph Music Academy in person, one-on-one, from all of the things that we teach here. All of the instruments and interests. Just go to our website and fill out the free lesson form. If you don't live in Grand Rapids, we also do Skype lessons, so go ahead and send us a request for that too. So today, in terms of our video lesson, I'm going to explain secondary dominants on the ukulele, and even if you don't play the uke, knowing about secondary dominants is huge. So here we go. So right off the bat, this video lesson is for later beginner, early intermediate uke players who are looking to diversify and understand their chords a little bit more, how to modulate into other keys using seventh chords, and anyone who is interested in unlocking a little bit of that knowledge in their playing. To understand what dominant chords are, we should look at them in the context of keys. So I'm going to go over all of the chords in the key of C and then point out which one is the dominant chord. And then we'll go from there. So we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and back to C. Now, each one of these chords actually has a name, and that's based on the note that the harmony is built upon. But real quick for reference, the dominant chord in every key is the fifth chord in the key. So if you count up from C, C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, so on and so forth. 5 is G. This is the dominant chord. Most of the time you see these chords in uke music or you know, any kind of music where you add a seventh to them. So chords are simply built out of a root, which is the note at the bottom. You skip the next tone, you get a third, and then you skip the next tone, you get a fifth. So G chord is G, B, D, and we're going to add another tone to that, which is the F, which is on the first fret of the E string. And now we get a G7. Part of the reason why it's called a dominant chord is because it pulls super hard back to 1. And that's where you get a cadence. And the resolution is super strong. So basically you can use these dominant chords for a lot of things. But you have to know where they pull to, and this is why it's important to understand them in terms of a key. So 5 of C, which is G, pulls back to 1, which is C. And we can pretty much reharmonize any of the chords in C to create a dominant chord. So this trick is really fun. So you have C, we'll just start there. You can make this into a dominant seventh chord, which is C7, which C7 is the 5 of F. So if you want to modulate into F, or at least pull into F within the key of C, you can use that to go into F. So I'm going to strum the C chord, turn into a dominant 7th chord, and then resolve it to F. Which you see that a lot in tunes. So let's go on to the next chord in C, which is D minor. Turn that into a dominant 7th chord. And that resolves to G, because D is the 5 of G. So this concept is known as secondary dominance. These dominant 7th chords are not in the key of C. The chords that I played earlier, those are the only diatonic chords found in C. Once you start reharmonizing the chords that are in the key to be dominant 7th chords, to pull into chords that are either in the key or outside of the key for modulation or tension release purposes, you are using a secondary dominant, which is secondary outside of the key that we're in. Let's move on. We got E minor, right? And we're going to turn that into an E dominant chord, E dominant 7. And that resolves to A major. So A major is not in C. So that is kind of a way that you can modulate into A major. But just because a dominant 7th chord resolves to a major chord doesn't mean that you can't use a minor chord to resolve into. Because sometimes you'll see things like E7 resolving to A minor in a minor key. And that's fine too. So any of the ones that we had played earlier, like for example D7, you don't have to resolve it to G major. You can resolve it to G minor. So, which that's kind of a cool sound. So basically what I'm saying is take all the chords in C and find the dominant 7th chord that's based off of that root note and figure out where they resolve to. And this will give you places to modulate or to create tension and release with chords that are within the key. So thank you for watching. And again, leave comments below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a heart for Jeff, and we will see you next week.